So we're back. We're going to do the third installation of this chart that we're using called the circle of fifths. And it's just a really great visual tool to organize all of these really basic music theory concepts that everybody needs to know in order to understand more advanced music theory concepts. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this idea called relative minor. Every major scale has another scale that it is related to. And you can kind of think of it like people in your family, your relatives. If you and I were related, we'd have some of the same genetic material. Well, that's kind of how the scales work too. Every major scale has a corresponding minor scale that shares the same notes. So what that means is, for instance, the key of A minor is relative to the key of C major. So what that means is the notes in the A minor scale are the exact same notes that are found in the C major scale. All you have to do is start and end on A. Now, the way you figure this out, there's a couple of ways to do it. One way is to count up 6 notes in the major scale, and that will tell you the relative minor. Another way you could do is count backwards 3 notes, or 3 half steps is another way to do it. So A minor and C major are relative. Well, the 6th note of the key of G is E, so E minor and G major are relative to each other. And then B minor and D major are relative to each other. F sharp minor and A major are relative to one another. C sharp minor and E major are relative to one another. Let's see. G sharp minor and B major are relative to one another. D sharp minor and F sharp major are relative to one another. And A sharp minor and C sharp major are relative to one another. It's easy to get tongue-tied with all this. Over here, we've got the flat keys. D minor and F major are relative to one another. G minor and B flat major are relative to one another. C minor and E flat major are relative to one another. F minor and A flat major are relative to one another. And then when we get down here, just like we had enharmonics for down here, we have enharmonic spellings for minor scales too. So another name for A sharp is B flat. So B flat minor and D flat major are relative to one another. Another name for D sharp is E flat. So E flat minor and G flat major are relative to one another. Another name for G sharp is, of course, A flat. So A flat minor and C flat major are relative to one another. So basically, you can read the inside of the circle just like you do the outside of the circle. So the key of A minor has 0 sharps or flats. The key of E minor on the sharp side has 1 sharp, and it would be F sharp. Key of B minor has 2 sharps because it's the second one over, F sharp and C sharp. So just like you could read it with the major keys, you can do the same thing with the minor keys. And it works for the flats as well. D minor is 1 over. It's going to be B flat. G minor has 2 flats, B flat and E flat. C minor is 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat, and just goes so on and so forth. So there's a lot of really, really helpful information found in this chart. If you watch these 3 videos that we made on this, hopefully it will explain everything you need to know. But if you have questions, you can always stop by the school, 533 Forest Avenue in Portland. You can give us a call, 207-229-2738, or you can drop us an email. My personal email is matt, M-A-T-T, at mattfogg.com, M-A-T-T-F-O-G-G.com. Thanks very much.